Coming up on AgweekTV, North Dakota's dairy cattle numbers are set to double. We'll show you the plans for a new facility. South Dakota was one of the last states to approve hemp, but the crop is poised for growth.
We'll show you plans for a new livestock research facility in central North Dakota.
And a Minnesota group celebrates 20 years of helping farmers grow. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. There are 14,000 dairy cattle in North Dakota, but soon that number will more than double thanks to a new dairy facility. I traveled to Halstead, Minnesota to learn more about the project. It's this week's AgWeek cover story.
So the on-farm income in the states like Minnesota, Montana, and South Dakota, they're running about 50% from crop production and 50% from animal production. And here in North Dakota, we're more like 85-15, 85 crop, 15 livestock.
Amber Wood is the executive director of the North Dakota Livestock Alliance. She says animal agriculture in North Dakota is very behind its neighboring states, making Riverview's announcement of opening a 25,000 head dairy in Hillsboro a shocking one to many. Riverview held an open house to show their plans for the facility and answer any questions or concerns people may have.
Just like everybody else in the room, you know, I've never personally seen a dairy herd of this size.
Of course, North Dakota is nice and close to us, and so we have been we've been interested in it because we know there's not a lot of animal egg here, and wanted to see if there really was the interest, and there is.
Martha Kale is a Riverview communication specialist. Riverview began in the 1930s in west central Minnesota, where they farmed various crops and beef cattle, but did not get into the dairy industry until the 1990s. Riverview now has dairies in South Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska, Arizona, and New Mexico.
Growing the crops here, and instead of shipping them out, which is great, and there's plenty grown here, there will be plenty that can still leave, but being able to feed that through an animal, and then we're land applying the manure here, it's really just able to keep it so much more full circle in the area, and that's what has been really special for us.
It has a positive impact for grain farmers that are in the area, both in the marketing of their feed and also the benefit of getting fertilizer back at a better price, and it's applied to their farm. So there's a win-win there.
Alan Quall operates a 1,200 head dairy in Lisbon, North Dakota with his sons, brother, and nephews. He is also the secretary of the Milk Producers Association of North Dakota.
Their competition, of course, I probably will be selling to the same plant they are, but the plant, as long as there's capacity for all of us, they don't come in to push anyone out. They're just competitive and do a good job with their operation. We have to do the same with ours.
Riverview also has plans for a dairy facility in Wahpeton. You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Crop conditions across western South Dakota vary a lot this growing season. Near Wall, South Dakota, conditions are some of the best they've seen in a long time, despite some challenges this spring. Rains in April and May delayed field work, but provided subsoil moisture that has been exceptional for the spring wheat crop. June brought ideal conditions to the area.
Finally dried up. We had some sun, we had some heat, and we were able to get in the fields and get back to work. And this particular area, it rained once a week. About the time we thought we'd be turning dry, we'd get another shot.
Lutter expects to see above average winter and spring wheat crop this year, with some areas getting up to 25 more bushels per acre than normal. An NDSU Livestock Extension Center in central North Dakota broke ground this week on a new research facility. As Jenny Schleck reports, it will allow central grasslands to attract even more scientists and funding for their research.
North Dakota State University Extension kicked off their Research Extension Center field days this week in Streator, North Dakota.
1, 2, 3.
A small crowd of state lawmakers, members of the State Board of Ag Research and Education, NDSU officials, and employees of the Central Grasslands Research Extension Center gathered to break ground on a new livestock research center. Kevin Sedovic, director at Central Grasslands, says the new facility will help attract scientists and money to study livestock and conservation efforts.
And we have a tremendous opportunity to do nutrition and reproductive research at this facility while doing our grazing research. So we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, but the opportunity to do state-of-the-art research is, we can now do here with the new facility being put in.
Central Grasslands runs about 450 cow-calf pairs and 200 yearlings. It does nutrition, reproductive, and grazing research. The groundbreaking was part of the center's annual field days to showcase their research and interact with the public.
We've got wonderful work that happens across the state, really in every locale, and addressing some of the local growing issues that our producers and ag community is facing.
The facility is being built with nearly $2.4 million from the state. Lardy and Sedovic say this is a good chance for taxpayers, especially those from cities, to see where their tax dollars are going. And they say the new state-of-the-art facility should provide a good return on taxpayer money. In Streator, North Dakota, this is Jenny Schlecht for AgWeek.
This was the first of 8 field days to be held at NDSU research extension sites across the state this month. Up next on AgweekTV, we'll see how weather is affecting shipping patterns.
AgWeek Summer Cereal Grains Crop Tour is coming back July and August 2024. Follow along as we bring you an inside look at the crop conditions across the region with AgweekTV, AgWeek Magazine, online at agweek.com, and on social media. Contact your AgWeek rep or email ads@agweek.com for value pack sponsorship opportunities today, and align your brand next to premier content on the AgWeek Cereal Grains Crop Tour this summer.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers 2 solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
South Dakota may have been late to the hemp game, but it's quickly taken the lead. Although it was one of the last states to legalize it, the state is now the nation's top industrial hemp producer. As Kennedy Tesh reports, farmers are optimistic about this year's growing season.
John Peterson is a 5th-generation farmer who grows corn and soybeans in southeast South Dakota. In 2021, when South Dakota became the 47th state to legalize industrial hemp farming, Peterson added hemp to the rotation.
It's a very easy crop to grow. We think it does great for our soil. It takes less fertilizer.
He also owns Dakota Hemp, what will be one of 2 processors in the state. Carl Lecker, Chief Operations Officer for Dakota Hemp, says it has many uses.
Great thing about hemp is that it's all natural. It comes from the earth. It's been around for thousands of years, and there's millions of uses for it.
Ken Meyer, the president of the South Dakota Industrial Hemp Association, says there's a lot of demand for hemp products. Everything from toiletries and pain relievers to textiles.
We only see more and more growth. The bottleneck right now is getting processing in place. There are plenty of farmers that want to grow the hemp. on the one side, and on the other side there are lots of people that want the raw products. And our effort now is to really get this processing going.
Although South Dakota was one of the last states to legalize hemp, it now leads the country in production.
If you haven't thought about industrial hemp for your farm, give it a serious thought.
In Wakanda, South Dakota, this is Kennedy Tesh for AgWeek.
Dakota Hemp has their products in 40 stores and they sell them online. Weather impacts more than just grain production, but also our grain exporting. In the Pacific Northwest, grain shipping has increased this year. Barrett Bass, Chief Strategy Officer of Blue Water Shipping Company in Portland, Oregon, says this is due to the drought impact on the Panama Canal.
When the Gulf loads cargoes for Asia through the Panama Canal, they're either having to wait a long time or pay quite a bit of money to transit, or they're having to go around South America. So what shippers are doing are transferring a lot of those cargo volumes to the PNW.
Bass says last year was a specifically low year for grain shipping in the area, so he is excited to see a steady flow growing through the waterways this year. He expects shipping to slow down in the late summer. The terrain of west and east of the Missouri River is vastly different in South Dakota. That's why the South Dakota Soil Health School took their knowledge west of the river for the first time ever. Ariana Schumacher takes us to Dry Creek Run Farm and Ranch in Caputa, South Dakota, for a look at the program.
It's so important to spread this knowledge across the state.
At Sean Freeland's operation, you won't find many crops, but you will find healthy soils. The Freelands are transitioning their farm ground back to grassland for their cattle, pigs, and sheep to graze.
I feel like the better our soil is, the better our plants will be, and the better that our end product will be for our consumer.
This year, Freeland welcomed the South Dakota Soil Health Coalition's Soil Health School out to his farm so students could see his soil health practices in action.
It's been a game changer for me. It's given me an opportunity to learn from a wealth of knowledge and other producers, and we brought that home to our operation.
The Soil Health School hosts around 30 students to listen to speakers discussing a variety of topics surrounding soil health.
It's just a good chance to learn. It's kind of like drinking from a fire hose. There's a ton to learn. You could probably do a soil health school every year as a producer and never, fully grasp everything you're learning.
This is the first time the Soil Health School has been hosted West River. This school focuses more on grassland compared to the East River schools that focus more on cropland.
We saw a need. We have had several people from West River come to our soil health school when it's been as far east as Garrettson, but we just wanted to make sure we were providing a service for where the people needed it.
Freeland hopes that producers walked away from the Soil Health School with a deeper understanding of the 5 principles of soil health and how to apply them to their operations.
If they can master those, they can make it better.
In Caputa, South Dakota, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
The next Soil Health School is August 26th through the 28th in Huron, South Dakota. For information and to register, go to the event. To go to the event, go to sdsoilhealthcoalition.org. Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll tell you how soybean growers can get important marketing information for free.
Anytime you have a viral challenge, you are going to see a drop in dry matter intake. Anytime the immune system kicks in, it takes a colossal amount of energy. If they're not eating, they're going to deal with the problem. Our objective with IntegraVix is to maintain appetite, if not increase it. And therefore, we have to have something that really draws the animals to come to the bunk. IntegraVix will do that.
IntegraVix you can find at your local supplier, distributor, or you can call us directly at Van Beek Natural Science.
Join Erickson Custom Operations in Severn Anderson for our 2024 annual crop tour at Anderson Farms near Drayton, ND, Wednesday, July 31st at 11 a.m. Learn about blending soil and plant nutrients with AquaYield and calcium products, and see firsthand what returning your soils back to health can do for your crops. Can't make it? Check out one of our other 2024 crop tours, July 29th in Perham, Minnesota, July 30th in Washburn, North Dakota, and August 1st in Davenport, North Dakota. Erickson Custom Operations 2024 crop tours. Join us in the field.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
The simplicity, I mean, it's a complicated planter, but it's also simple. That row meter is just very simple and it just seems to work. I like that just having that tube delivering the seed with an airstream and not having to have extra belts on it or extra electric motors and stuff. A lot of this machinery seems like it's almost getting overly complicated. The simpler that it can work, but do what it's supposed to do, I think this machine can definitely do that.
North Dakota's conservation agencies have joined forces to better serve producers and landowners. The Dakota Legacy Initiative brings conservation resources together in one easy-to-navigate website. Easily find programs, events, technical assistance, and educational materials most relevant to you. Come see where collaborative conservation begins. Learn more at dakotalegacyinitiative.com.
AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Is this heat wave here to stay? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
Looking at the overall weather pattern as we go into the midpoint of July, the hot weather is definitely pegging the western United States, the Intermountain West, California up through Washington, all through the Rocky Mountain states. That's where the most anomalously hot weather is located. As far as most of the upper Midwest, northern plains, middle West, Great Plains, the northern part, it's more warm than hot, a little warmer than average at times, yes, certainly, but we're missing most of the searing heat, the record-setting heat that's been occurring from time to time out in the western states. And within this overall pattern, rainfall in July is typically kind of random. I mean, there's always a cause for rain, but it seems to be kind of just scattered around and difficult to find any real mean or rhyme or reason to it, and that's the situation here. I think in general, as we look at the next 2 weeks, the upper Midwest, northern plains, most of the corn bean belt, the Great Plains will find rainfall generally lower than average, temperatures generally warmer than average, but hopefully not too much of an extreme of either one of those. Here's the jet stream pattern as we start this on Sunday and into the early part of the week. The really hot weather is concentrated in the west. South, of course, is quite hot. It's trickling upward into the high plains, and there will be some hot days up in the 90s up in western Canada, but from the northern plains like North Dakota, South Dakota, across through the Great Lakes, bit of a troughiness this week will bring some cooler weather down into these regions. A lot of this in the center of the map here is going to be temperatures in the 70s. Later in the week, we'll go back into the 80s, it looks like, but we'll keep that really hot weather out west. Ridging will predominate the western states. It's kind of a diffuse upper-level flow, which is typical of midsummer. That tends to mean that the storms tend to be kind of random and scattered in nature, and we tend to find not a lot of organization to it. There is some tropical organization. I don't know that we're going to see any tropical storms. There's a lot of dust in the Atlantic Ocean right now, and that tends to suppress hurricanes. But the pattern for southeastern United States rainfall just remains quite wet. As we head toward the mid-break of this forecast period and into the second week, we will see really hot weather moving back into the Rocky Mountain states and much of the west. The northern plains and Great Lakes will continue to be a little warmer than average, but certainly not unusually so. I think we'll keep most of the consistently hot weather in the high plains and the Rocky Mountains. Showers and thunderstorms, there will probably be a couple of days or nights of that through the northern plains, but the wettest part of the country is likely going to be the eastern seaboard. Monsoon rains will produce above average thunderstorms in the mountains of the southwest. The second week looks pretty dry over most of the northern plains and the upper Midwest.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
AgWeek's Summer Corn and Soybean Crop Tour kicks off in July 2024 and runs through September. Join us as we bring you an inside look at the crop conditions across the region with AgweekTV, AgWeek Magazine, online at agweek.com, and on social media. Contact your AgWeek rep or email ads@agweek.com for value-packed sponsorship opportunities today. And align your brand next to premier content on the AgWeek Corn and Soybean Crop Tour this summer.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
AgweekTV Soy Insight, brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Council.
Soybean growers have the chance to get some timely market information at a free webinar coming up in August. Rose Dunn has details in this month's Soy Insight.
2 big new soybean crush plants in North Dakota can be a game changer for soybean growers, but it might raise some questions for growers as well. Just in time to make good marketing plans going into harvest, the North Dakota Soybean Council is holding a mid-season market outlook webinar.
It's always a helpful perspective to have going into harvest and preparing to market that crop.
The webinar features 2 prominent ag economists, Dr. Bill Wilson and Dr. Frayne Olson of NDSU. They, along with other industry leaders, will talk about how the season is progressing, world demand, and they'll walk producers through marketing strategies and risk management options for the soybean harvest.
We're very fortunate in North Dakota to have Drs. Bill Wilson and Frayne Olson. They are respected around the world for their knowledge in these markets. It's not often that you can get grain marketing advice for free, so we really encourage farmers to take advantage, especially because this is provided by your checkoff dollars.
This is the first harvest in which 2 crush plants will be running in North Dakota at Spiritwood and Castleton. That means a significant portion of the soybeans grown in the region will go to those plants to be crushed for renewable fuels, rather than be shipped overseas for livestock feed.
That can really change a marketing plan if that makes sense for you. And so to talk about when that makes sense for you, what do we kind of predict with the basis, what that might do as you're coming into harvest, it really is a crucial year for a large percentage of our soybean farmers.
In Fargo, this is Rose Dunn for AgWeek.
The online webinar is on August 8th from 8 to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. It's free to North Dakota soybean producers, educators, and others in the industry. To register, go to the address on your screen by August 5th, and you'll be sent a link the day before with instructions to participate. Up next on AgweekTV, a Minnesota group celebrates 20 years of helping farmers grow.
You're invited to the 4th annual Open Forum meeting for Aqua Yield and Calcine. Thursday, August 1st from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Holiday Inn in Fargo, North Dakota. Speakers include Warren Bell and Landon Bunderson from AgweekTV, Steve Stumbris from Purple Cow, and Tom Vanderheiden, egg consultant with Erickson Custom Operations. Refreshments will be served. We look forward to seeing you there.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
Anytime you have a viral challenge, you are going to see a drop in dry matter intake. Anytime the immune system kicks in, it takes a colossal amount of energy. If they're not eating, they're going to deal with the problem. Our objective with IntegraVix is to maintain appetite, if not increase it. And therefore, we have to have something that really draws the animals to come to the bunk. IntegraVix will do that.
IntegraVix you can find at your local supplier, distributor, or you can call us directly at Van Beek Natural Science.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
The simplicity, I mean, it's a complicated planter, but it's also simple. That row meter is just very simple and it just seems to work. I like that just having that tube delivering the seed with an airstream and not having to have extra belts on it or extra electric motors and stuff. A lot of this machinery seems like it's almost getting overly complicated. The simpler that it can work, but do what it's supposed to do, I think this machine can definitely do that.
A Minnesota farm outreach organization is marking a milestone this summer. Renewing the Countryside celebrated its 20th anniversary with a fundraiser in St. Paul. RTC hosts several high-profile annual events, including Feast Local Foods Trade Show and the Farmland Summit. It's also known for its farm-to-school outreach, on-farm events, conservation connections, and much more. Executive Director and co-founder Jan Jonide says it's gratifying to help farmers make connections.
So it was, how do we help continue to kind of showcase the great stuff that's going on there, but also provide some resources.
While Renewing the Countryside started in Minnesota, it has spread to surrounding states. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Recent heavy rains in the region have hurt crops, but also have decreased populations of some pests. And SDSU will lead a project focused on research surrounding biological nitrogen fixation and its applications in the sustainable agriculture industry. We appreciate you watching AgweekTV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.